alive here. Balotelli, Aguero! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again.
Scenes, and they've deserved it, Roma. Barcelona have bottled it.
Welcome to the CFT Podcast.
Hey guys, and we're back with another episode of the Corner Flag Talk. It's your boy John. As usual, I'm here with none other than my great friend and colleague Virgil. Virgil, how you doing?
It's been good. A wonderful week for me personally.
Yeah, definitely. So just before we get into the stuff, guys, and I'm just gonna let you guys know, we are now on YouTube, and in being on YouTube, we want to actually get actual video footage out to you guys. So we are currently, as we record this episode, we are test running our video equipment. And if we find that the quality is up to scratch for you guys, which may not actually be up to scratch in this audio, which we apologize for, we'll upload the video for you guys as well, so you guys get video content to actually see, our reactions to stuff that we talk about. Also, we are also hoping to try and finish this podcast in 30 minutes.
Yep.
So, given our struggles, I'm constantly wanted to talk. We'll see how that goes. So we started off with the game of the weekend, definitely Chelsea versus Man City. Ran up a cricket score this weekend as Chelsea was annihilated 6-0. It was 4-0 within the first 30 minutes of the game. And, after last week when Arsenal faced off against Man City, I felt pretty devastated, in the sense that City just quality overall just told against us. And then, when I watched this game, I had a different perspective because, when I looked at the Arsenal lineup last week, I found that, Emery was very pessimistic in the lineup, in the sense that I felt like he could have put a little bit more in terms of us getting something on the counter. But then now when I watch this game, and I look at a manager who's protagonist at his heart, and wants to play his type of football, and saw what the outcome was, now I kind of understood why Emery was so reserved going into this game.
Yeah, well, looking from a Chelsea perspective, or from the Chelsea fans that I talked to over the weekend, well, most of them described Sarri in that game as being very stubborn, and well, that was still because from the beginning, looking at the game, I was very really disappointed at how Chelsea started off, because you could have seen, we don't know what that Sarri ball is that he's trying to do, but comparing that to the Arsenal game, City had probably played that game in the second game. And it wasn't far different in that Chelsea game. It's just that Chelsea, nobody was they wasn't pressing equally. The front three was pressing, but the three in the midfield, they wasn't pressing with the forwards. So that would just make it really easy for City to play out. And you can see from the beginning, City had started with the intensity. But after a while, City realized that okay, this Chelsea side not really playing any football to cause a threat. So City actually sat back really, and City didn't really hit any high gear. They probably played the same type of football they played against Arsenal. But from that, like after, can I just say that game was probably done and dusted within 24 minutes when the fourth goal was scored.
Yeah, definitely. And I was listening to ESPN FC last night, and Gab Marcotti was on the show, and he was saying that the goals against Chelsea yesterday were those based on individual errors. And in comparison to the Arsenal game, where I actually felt like you could have visibly seen those individual errors, in the sense of, You saw when he would give away the ball in the first minute,
Yeah.
very cheaply at the edge of his box for the goal. We saw when for the second goal, when Lichtsteiner didn't pick up Sterling at all. And you could actually see those mistakes, right? I felt like in this game, it was less so of individual mistakes and more so that individuals weren't suited to his system of Sarri, whatever that Sarri system is. But whether or not you understand the system, you can tell that these players are not suited to it because they are not performing whatever. Because our manager is not ignorant, you know what I mean? Sarri is in this role for I think 17 years now, and he understands that in certain games you need to be a lot more, tight to certain players and whatnot. We look at Alonso, he started off the first month under Sarri pretty well, but his defensive flaws continue to be, exposed in these games. We look at how poor they were in picking up marking. We look at how poor Jorginho was in screening the back four, and there are times where his defensive work is, criticized a little too heavily because he does put in some shift, but it really has been really poor. I mean, we look at how he just swept aside the Chelsea defense, and you know how trigger happy we know Roman Abramovich should be and the Chelsea board to be, and you have to wonder that yes, Sarri might have a good end product at the end of his project, but when you look at Napoli, he didn't get it right away. He was at Napoli for a couple of years. Chelsea managers don't tend to get a couple of years. And you don't know if he would, let me just say that he doesn't get to the top 4 at the end of the season, doesn't win Europa League, therefore doesn't have Champions League. Would this Chelsea board be inclined to let him stay on?
That's one problem. That's one problem with Chelsea annual English football on a whole. That most managers, if you don't get it right the first time, you're basically out of a job. But the same excuse that remember last week what was given to Emery, it's the same excuse you could give to Sarri because all the new managers coming in they have to look at what happened to Klopp. Klopp never got it right the first time. Klopp used to barely finish within top 3 for this time, and now he finally get the players that he wanted. He finally being able to implement the style that he wants to play, and they're fighting for the title right now. But look at Sarri. Sarri have those players, and you could see, the Sarri ball coming. This is the same way that how Pep was on this first season. There's certain players that he need. Certain players, they could understand the tactics, but they're just not capable of doing what he wants. So that's the same way. Looking at what Emery trying to do, the same way what Sarri trying to do. So right now Sarri know that he know that this Chelsea board rules and English board rules, so he and all aware that his job in danger, but Chelsea can't be quick to fire him off this.
Yeah, I agree. I think that at this point, you need to understand that if you want to, the last couple of managers have been managers who want to be a lot more counter-attacking, but if you really want a much more progressive manager, you don't get those players right away. Again, you made a really good reference to Klopp, and Klopp finished 8th in his first season. Granted that he did come in like October or November around there. He actually lost the Europa League final, ironically, to Unai Emery's Sevilla. But my point is that he didn't get it right the first time. And we look at where their project has reached now. If you want, not just for Chelsea, but even for Arsenal, if you want to reach that far, you need to be able to stand the test of time. In order to try and stay with us 30 minutes, not to stay too long on this, before we go across, I really wanted to point out something that I tweeted from the quarterfinal account yesterday. Raheem Sterling in the last 3 seasons, including this one, so I guess a season and a half, my last 2 seasons, has more goals and assists than Eden Hazard has. Both has won 1 title in that time frame, and we rate Eden Hazard to be one of the best players in the Premier League. Rightly so, I do think, because he has the ability to do so. But just for those who don't know the numbers, in 90 appearances, Raheem Sterling has 37 goals and 26 assists. Whereas Eden Hazard in 95 appearances, so he has more appearances, has 40 goals and 19 assists. And we laud Eden for all the right reasons, but I think it's really time. And part of the reason he hasn't been before is because the English media does a lot to discredit Raheem Sterling, but I think it's really time that Raheem gets the credit that he deserves to be definitely a top 3 winger in this league.
Raheem Sterling, that he's one player for sure in Prem improved the most on the Pep. He went from being a top winger to being a world class forward, recognized it all across Europe, and just with those stats alone could prove it. I think the stats here in 24 appearances, he has 12 goals, 9 assists. He's racking up assists on the assist chart right now, tied with Sonny. And then looking at another player like Aguero, see, this is the same effect that slightly what Pep had with Messi. Right now, let's look at last week, at the beginning of the Arsenal game. Aguero started that game with 11 goals. Only a week went past, and right now he is joint top scorer with 17 goals.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And you can see, and Aguero is doing everything Pep wants. He will drop back, help out in the midfield, create chances. He's creating chances. Like for the first goal he scored, how he dropped back, collect the ball, and was able to finish. I think that was the first.
Yeah.
Pep just getting the best out the players. And looking at that, like look at Pep. Pep did get right in his first season. So you really cannot.
Yeah, project isn't completed in the first season.
And you can't test that project. You can't test a project. Arsenal's project, Chelsea project, anybody project against a team like Man City.
Yeah, speaking about wing play, we go across the other side of Manchester, who took on Fulham this weekend, and it was another complete performance from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men. We look at Anthony Martial was rewarded with a new contract this week. He repaid that faith with Henry-esque goal, running from, when you look at, just stats, before, if you're not following a game, you look at live score on these apps, right? And it showed that the assist was Phil Jones, right? Mm-hmm. So you would think that, you probably dumped the ball on the field and scored, right?
Somewhere.
Oh yeah, some corner or something, right? When you look at the goal, he got the ball midway through the United's first half. And he ran from there, ran past one, ran past another, flicked the ball past another, and then scored. Martial, Courtney always say this, is among some of the top talent in the league. And it's really good that he is hitting this kind of sturdy form under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We don't even need to go into Pogba because everybody knows that Pogba is in top form right now as well. And I just think something key that we need to note about this United team is that now is when the real test for them start.
Yep.
By now I mean the 12th of February, and it really is a trying time from the 12th of February to the 16th of March, where in that time frame, and I have it here for everyone, Manchester United faces PSG. Then after that they have to face Chelsea in the FA Cup, and after that in the league they have to play United. They have to play Liverpool, and then they have to visit Crystal Palace. Then they have to host Southampton, which you would think are fixtures that they should win. And then they have to go on to face PSG in the return leg. Then they have to visit Arsenal, and then they have to host the reigning champions in Man City. And in that space of what would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 fixtures, they have 5 tough teams to face. And this is really telling of how deep this squad could go, and also to an extent how this team can stand a certain test. Because yes, against Burnley they went back and they were 2 goals down to come back, and that showed some character. But they haven't had to lose a game and respond to a game yet. And in this round we might see how they do that.
Since Martial came in, like touch on Martial. Since Martial came in, Martial hasn't had a manager that was able to get the confidence out of him. Because right now he's playing as a player with the world of confidence behind him.
Yep.
Right now Martial is showing the potential that brought him to United. And Martial, Pogba, Rashford, all these players that you're expecting to step up are now stepping up under Solskjaer. They're the ones that could spare United into doing good in all those fixtures that you mentioned. Because looking at the PSG fixture, this PSG side hit with injuries, with Neymar injured, Verratti.
I was saying online.
McCavan yesterday.
I was just saying that online, this is like the definition of the stars aligning for them, They are literally going into this in the best form they have been in some time. And even Thomas Munir is missing, It really would be an interesting game. We look at Fulham right now, and Fulham, especially the more top teams in the league, is almost like it's a given to win against them.
Yeah.
And they stand at second to last in the league, and I really don't see them coming out of this rut now.
Bringing Claudio, bringing Ranieri back to this club was just okay, welcome him back to the Premier League, but Ranieri couldn't do so much, and with the players that he have on that Fulham side, and it's shocking Fulham have players with a lot of potential, but I guess that whatever style they're trying to do, the players can't. Schürrle, Vieto, they have Ryan Sessegnon. The only advice I could give to Ryan Sessegnon right now is he's a young player who with loads of potential. Look for a move out of Fulham, because any team right now would be looking for a player like him.
And we speak about, guaranteed wins against teams. Arsenal took on Huddersfield this weekend, who are actually at the bottom. They went into this game with over 8 hours of not scoring, and even though they had a lot of absentees, Arsenal managed to get the job done. But for most Arsenal fans, including myself, this performance left a lot wanting. The football wasn't exactly of the highest quality. A lot of players, like I said, Aubameyang was out with illness. Was allowed with illness. Ramsey out with an injury. Xhaka was out with a little injury as well. And Mkhitaryan as well come back to this game, and I actually felt like him and Iwobi was some of the brightest spots in the game. But it wasn't. When we look at how Chelsea took Huddersfield on last week, it's so funny that Arsenal and Chelsea had like reverse fixtures in these series. Chelsea washed them aside, hit them 5, and you can tell when you look at the table, Manchester United on 51 points, Arsenal on 50, Chelsea on 50. Manchester United on 17 goal difference, Arsenal on 16, Chelsea on 16. Arsenal on top of Chelsea right now on the virtue that Arsenal have the 4th most goals scored in the league. And when we look at how this league might really come down to the wire on who finishes where, you need to be able to rack up goals against teams that you could literally beat at will. And I felt like there should have been an opportunity where he could have done something like that. And yes, I admit, we give him the excuse that players are missing, but the quality of football that was on show was very poor. And I felt like a lot of the changes he made even during the game was so pessimistic. Don't get me wrong, I want him to succeed, because I don't think that, just because he isn't exactly washbuckling football from the get-go, that he's bad. I like the fact that, he's reacted to certain managers. When we look at Arsenal at home versus the big sixes here, we took on Man City, we took on Liverpool, we took on Chelsea, and we took on Spurs. The only one left is United. And in those fixtures, we only lost to City. We drew at Liverpool, which is a game we could have won. And we also beat Chelsea, we beat Spurs, and that's something that Arsenal haven't been able to feel like they went into these big 6 games with confidence in a long time. But again, he wanted to give Torreira a rest. Could have very easily, against the worst team in the league, quote unquote, not to sound in the harsh way, could have brought on Teddy Suarez to play in the midfield too. Instead, he brought on Elneny, who accidentally ended up ruling out a goal for us because he ran offside. He could have brought on Eddie Nketiah, who's a youngster, who Unai Emery himself blocked from going out on loan because he's effectively the 3rd choice striker right now. He could have brought him on, but he didn't. And I find like he is willing to take these 2-0, take these 1-0 a little too often in a league where you need to be beating these teams, because this is not a league like other leagues. If a team gets 1 goal on you, best believe that game is on. And these teams who are especially fighting relegation, they will take the littlest of incentive that they could possibly take to get a point.
And look how tight. Right now it's too many leagues between the top 3 and then 4 to 6. Look at those mini leagues, how tight it is. In this league, goal difference is very important. You need goal difference. That's why Pep will be so persistent that get the job, not only just get the job done, but be as ruthless as possible, because at the end of the day, who knows? Goal difference has won a league title already for Man City, and battling for that 4th place that Arsenal could need goal difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, and you talk about these mini leagues, and a team who we're not really too sure which part of these mini leagues within the league belong to the Spurs. Spurs sit on 60 points, 5 points over the top, and there are 9 points between them and 4th place of United. And you're kind of like, what is Spurs' goal for the rest of the season with respect to the league? I guess, it's obvious to just keep with it. You never know. They might push themselves more into the conversation of the title. But with one loss and one pickup of a win with one teams below them, and they get stuck back into the race of who finishes in the top 4. It's a real lull period here. Just going into the game, I felt like Spurs struggled a bit in this game. They struggled with the pace and movement of Leicester City, which is shown in the yellow cards and the fouls that they made. We look at the penalty that they gave away, which was effective because they couldn't keep up with the movement of players like Chilwell and John Barnes. We look at almost 3 of the back 4, I believe, got yellow carded in this game. And if it was for better finishing, Leicester might have gotten more out of this game.
That's true. Yeah, this is a hard loss for Leicester because same football they played over the past how weeks when they got wins against City and they drew against Liverpool. It just more so luck was on Spurs' side. But yeah, Spurs the position they're in right now, people don't know if people not confident to say okay, they are title challengers because they're not far off.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
if I start from Liverpool, they could be push up. They could push up in second.
Definitely,
As
yeah.
for Man City, they could push up closer.
Yeah.
But it just these wins they have. They're looking at the performance because I'm just seeing the wins after. Like, okay, convincing, but looking at the performance, not so much. Spurs right now they win in 3-1, but comparing against a side like our Leicester quality, even slightly better on a different day. Spurs don't look like okay, you could put them in a match and they could come out with a win. It's just like okay, let's hope for the best.
Yeah, I agree. When we look at the goals that they scored in this game, it was really, actually a testament of playing because they were a great set piece to open the scoring for Davinson Sanchez. We look at the second goal, the second and third goal where they took advantage of Leicester's mistakes. A really poor clearance by Ricardo Pereira, which led to Eriksen's fantastic finish. And then between that goal and the 76th minute, I believe, Leicester got back on goal through Jamie Vardy. Again, Spurs struggling to cope with the movement and pace that they had up front. And obviously at that point, Leicester now looking to go for the draw. And with Leicester overcommitted, Spurs took advantage of the little man had him behind. And Son, in the great run of form he continues to be in, ran through and scored a good goal. And something that I took away from this game is that I felt like Yuri Telemann, who got his debut today, was in the wrong kit. They sell Dembele in the January window, to one of the Chinese clubs. And he was such a stalwart for them, a really secured member in the first 11 as long as he was fit. And Musa Sissoko has been doing well, and Harry Winks has been doing as well as he can. But I think, not just because, Belgium to Belgium, but when you look at the style of play of Yuri Telemann, he drove them forward so much. He's such technically gifted on the ball, he's both-footed. And I really think in the long term he might be a really, really good replacement for Dembele in the Spurs side.
Yeah. Look at that there. Is still I think the deal is loan. Yeah, loan option to buy.
Yeah.
Because that's surprising. Yeah, he would have been a good replacement for Dembele, but so far
we need money to buy him.
That's true, and to conduct long-term quality business in January is always tough. So
yeah, and just to go to the last team that we have to touch on here, Liverpool versus Bournemouth. Liverpool finally get back on track. They really can't afford to be slipping as much as they have been. Really healthy win against Bournemouth this weekend. Really good goals from Sadio Mane. A really, really nice goal from Gini Wijnaldum, who I think has been one of the less rated performers in the league this year, but who has been performing really well, especially when you consider how poor Navigator has been. Gini Wijnaldum has helped keep that Liverpool midfield running. Mo Salah scored from a great flick on from Firmino, and this year has produced such a really good title race. That has been something that has been missing in the league for a little while. When Leicester won the title, they had some race there, but when we look at when the last 2 Chelsea wins, we look at when City won the title, we see these teams running away with the league. And it's so neck and neck right now that they are both tied up points with Man City playing a game extra because Man City won't be playing in the following weekend because of their commitments to the Capital One Cup final.
17 days without Man City playing a Premier.
Yeah, and it's so neck and neck. I would ask you to be neutral here for a moment. Do you think it's theirs to lose?
Right now, yeah. To be honest, if Man City's in position that Liverpool is in right now, I would prefer that with the game in hand, because right now Liverpool, right, we're looking at the fixtures. Yeah, Liverpool, the only team that really made them suffer the first defeat was against City. But looking at how Liverpool playing, and before looking at how Liverpool playing, rest of the teams is okay. The only test will be United when you run a 4 million, but it's still capable of beating United. But looking at person Liverpool, and I would more prefer to be in that, because the pressure, the pressure is on them, seeing that they never really won it at before, and how Man City has been experiencing this multiple times before in the past. It's just that looking at the upcoming fixtures, these are fixtures that Liverpool could win. These draws, look at Liverpool end up having several off draws. No, not convincing performances that they could have lost, or the games that they have lost.
Yeah.
Liverpool right now are showing, they are still showing that those signs of being champions right now. So right now, and it's entertaining because this feels like it will be decided on the last day, because even if they do suffer a loss against Manchester United, which is the only test really so far I could really see for Liverpool right now, you still can't count them out, because the same way how Liverpool had that small spell of draws, teams, you don't know how the Prem could be. City could go on and win the remaining fixtures. Liverpool go on and win the remaining fixtures.
Yeah.
And both teams could win by a large margin, which goes past the goal difference.
Yeah.
But right now, Liverpool in the position Liverpool in right now is the best position that to be in for them. That right now there's theirs to lose, they're still leading the race, and right now, as long Man City just keeping up the pressure, rather than up to them to deal with it.
Okay, cool. So at this point in time, we're gonna take a small break. We'll be back to you guys in a short minute. Alright guys, so just really quickly, I want to just plug 3 people who have been doing this stuff locally, and I just think it's important for us to just help out one another. So first off is Mikhaili Tony, fellow prayers man, has his clothing brand for about 3 years now, and has been doing this thing successfully in the local sphere. Hit him up at Trinity Clothing on all social media, and at Mikhaili Tony for his personal account. Also, we have Joshua Regrello, who's an apps man, but we help him out same way. He's been doing his stuff with Skiffle, and has been doing his personal blog, and has been doing his stuff with his own band Triplets. Hit him up at Triplets TT on his personal account at Joshua Regrello. And lastly, I want to hit up a good friend and a really great makeup artist in Corina, past NAP student in South Trinidad, and is one of the most talented makeup artists that I have seen in the local work. You should hit her up at Karina Rebecca on both Instagram and Twitter. I really support these guys because they're really talented, and they're just looking for somebody to support them in their little hustle. Okay, cool guys, and we are back. So just real quickly, one quick trivia question which isn't that hard, so time for trivia time. Virgil, so this weekend Sergio Aguero secured his 11th hat-trick of his Premier League career.
Yeah.
Who also is the only other player to ever score 11 hat-tricks in the Premier League?
Right now, and it's fun to see that how he's still a pundit on the Premier League. So we know the answer is Alan Shearer.
Yeah, correct.
And it just seeing him talk about the games after.
Yeah.
He's sitting down watching Sergio Aguero equal and might break his record.
Yeah.
And right now, from what he said he confident and he will be honored if Aguero actually does that.
Yeah, I am actually worried as an Arsenal fan that he's like not far away from breaking Henry's record.
Oh yeah.
And no, I don't get me wrong, even if he does, I don't think that he was as gifted as a striker as Henry was. But I do think it's a testament to how great he has been in the Premier League. I undoubtedly, not no hate towards Harry Kane. I think he's phenomenal centre forward, but I think especially since Pep has reached, the way he has elevated his all-round game, and even before that, the man is a great goal scorer, probably the best striker in the Premier League right now. So straight across to the goals of the weekend section. My choice would be, now talking about Thierry Henry, the younger version to him, and Anthony Martial. Took the ball up within his own half, dribble past one, dribble past another, flick the ball past another, start coolly home. I just thought it was a really, really great run and really great show of his skill, and I felt like it is worthy of being a goal of the weekend contender simply because it's so not easy to pull up a skill like that.
For me, it might be a little biased, but for me, it might be a little biased, but for me, have to be Aguero's opening goal.
Yeah.
And that just shows that not too long after how he missed the open net, and that just shows that that just shows the quality of Aguero being a top, not just a top striker but a top athlete, missing that chance there, and City known for missing chances and not taking the opportunity, and teams come back and score and equalize. Well, it's just good that Aguero, it's a good lesson learned in that, how he missed the open goal and then he responded in that way, and that for me, that might go.
Yeah, not to stick on it too long, but that miss, it just kind of show like how badly the score really could have been. I mean, it was bad, but it could have been like 9. It wouldn't have been like, that's really flattering to City that they were just extremely clinical. That just shows like how much chances they created.
Yeah.
Alright, so thanks guys for listening. We just crossed the 30-minute mark. We're really trying to get it down for you guys to keep it in a time frame that suits you guys' schedule. Follow us on social media everywhere at Corner Flag Talk. We really appreciate all the support. Download the app. The link is always in the bio of our Instagram page, and we really appreciate support all the time. And catch you guys next time.